then I could sit out there and conduct the meeting.
It's everywhere.
Well, I think we said something else.
Just need room to set up a
I'm
second.
gonna start eating cans.
You ready, Gil?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we welcome all of you to tonight's Hermosa Town Board regular meeting, Tuesday, June 21st, 2022 at 6:02. And with that being said, I do want to remind everybody we operate in classroom style. Please raise your hands on anything that you have for discussion. If you aren't on the agenda for a direct agenda item, more than likely there will be no discussion. And for anybody that does need or be aware of that, we have, if you have questions, informational permits that are here at the office for any discussions for anybody that may need them. So we appreciate that. We've got a lot to cover tonight, so roll call. Hendrickson.
Here.
Holsworth's here. Kramer.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
Appreciate all the attendees tonight as usual with Public Works, Finance Officer, Town Attorney, and all citizens. We will have our committee appointments tonight also, so we appreciate our floodplain administrator being here also, Mr. Claycomb. So with that being said, if you all would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. With that being said, we're on item number 2, review of the current agenda items. We have one item that will be new business on number 18 that we will move up to number 7, request info for Roberta Phillips, that we'll put there. And then there will be under Public Works a discussion of approval of the alley on 4th and 3rd Street that we had on discussion prior to. And we will have an executive session tonight after the meeting is completely done. And other than that, we'll have statements of effect on everything else on the board. So with them amendments, I would like a motion to approve the agenda with the amendments.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Kramer. Further discussion? There being no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Next item is 3, approval of the June 7th, 2022 regular meeting minutes and June 10th, 2022 special meeting minutes. If you've reviewed them, I'd like a motion to approve, please.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Schumacher seconds it. Further discussion? Being no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 4 is a conflict of interest declaration. Anything on the agenda that's going to be a declaration of conflict for any of the members? If not, we'll move forward with the rest of the agenda then. Item 5 is claims, payroll and claims on what you have for discussion on that. The only discussion I have is the Flying J repair one. For the statement of effect on that, is the contractor paying that bill?
They're coming back to town this next week, so I haven't had any contact with him, but see what's gonna happen.
Because I see you have a combo of Flying J repair and Tower Hill. How much separation is there on that goes to Flying J?
Sort of piece of pipe and 2 repair glands.
Just for Tower Hill?
No.
Flying J.
no. And gravel.
Well, Badland, or excuse me, the gravel's under Badlands, sand and gravel.
To me, that
That
should
was
be a
for
contractor
Flying J.
responsibility on the claims part of it. And I kind of expressed that in the very beginning on that the contractor needed to immediately be notified and pay us immediately because of their problem that they occurred when they did the bore on that particular one. So I would like to make a motion to approve everything but that claim until we have the contractor responsible for that claim. Do I have a second? Second by Kramer. Further discussion. You have the name, phone number, all of that contractor. Like I say, they need to be held responsible. You had conversation, you had every indication, meeting on site. That responsibility is huge, that we take care of it from their standpoint, so. Any other questions from the board? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you, board. Item 6 is the old business. We have, item A is the annexation of Gumbo Lily Fairgrounds Place McDermott. That's all pending, of course, until we go to Custer with the paperwork there. Item B is the town sign, which is pending. We're waiting to get on the school agenda, so we're still not there on that part of it. C is town office, deck staining pending. Library deck staining, mud jacking pending. We were gonna, you went through and seen some of them. You
I
have a couple
Well-
more. Did you go by to Hendrickson and look at them?
I have not.
Okay. Because I'd like to act on that next meeting,
Okay,
if we could, please.
we'll get
And-
together.
Yeah, I'd like that, and then we can go through it. Have that where we're handling it in the right way, and I have all the notes in that sheet. And I believe both of you girls got that sheet that I wrote. Okay.
I'll pick you up, Vicki, and show you what I think. Then
And if
we'll-
I need to remark, then we can remark, and if you let me know, I have no problem going along too, and
Well, that's a quorum then.
we'll post it then. Maybe a quorum if we're looking at the sidewalk. So that'll be appreciated. The ARPA grant approval to sign, we're still pending on that. Of course, we have our June 23rd meeting, so we won't do anything until June 23rd on that portion of it. The item F, we made a statement of warning. Were we going to send a letter on that too, Mr. Johnson? Just a statement of warning that we put in the minutes on that, that basically if that occurrence happens again, then we will take further action on that situation at that time. So that will be just a list of what you'll do on that, no mailing needed, just recorded in the minutes. And then we'll be able to remove that item from the agenda. Motion to remove.
Yep.
Kramer makes that, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Hendrickson, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you, board. Item G is the camera of the drainage, approval to camera at the retention pond, we did do that. Mr. Ferguson looked through that. We also had South Dakota Rural Water down here, also testing, looking for leaks on that situation. So what we're awaiting is basically, and it'll be covered in Public Works also, is Mr. Ferguson is going to look at that aspect of it, see about putting a hydrant in up on the water tower to test a section of line to further see where we go on that situation on that one. So, but we'll touch a little more on that in Public Works and then know where we're at in that situation. So that will be a pending. Item 7 is the June 7th, 2022 election. You have your results that are in your packets on that of what the total of the election was. And of course, we did have a special meeting to that effect through where Mr. Robert King, even being the winner, turned in another letter of resignation at this presence, and we're saddened by that, with him being in the election circumstance. Bobby Caskey was 51, Kramer was at 55. That put us in a position to where we were able to once again open it up to where we advertised it for any letters of interest for that position. And that's what we did. We had 2 letters of interest, one from Bobby Caskey and one from Brent Thomason on them situations. Question, Kramer, or Henriksen, I'm
She's
sorry.
over there. There was another option, was there not, with the election committee when they said you could have gone with putting Bobby in position also,
Our positioning is you can do any of them,
either of them?
yes,
And that's what you guys chose to do?
at the meeting,
Okay, thank you.
to be fair to the public and offer it out there to
Well,
everybody
that's
again.
the difference of opinion, because there were 51 people that voted for, and you're kind of disallowing their vote. So, that's my opinion.
Thank you. So with that being said, both great letters, great participants in where we're at in that situation. And so on that, I'll ask for each of your others' opinions as we have Hendrickson's on it. I like Bobby as where we're at in positioning, her involvements and her club involvements. And I like that she's been involved with P&Z, with Brent also, like positioning where he is there. I guess the one thing that is probably a little more strength on my feeling is with Brett, has he been on P&Z for a year, has had a chance to grasp ordinances, policies, procedures, and responsibilities of the board position. So I'm kind of swaying to that one and hoping that Bobby would stay with P&Z and still continue to learn and do the community service. Kramer?
Well, I feel that I'm still just so happy that Bobby put herself out there. Not only for the vote, but we have asked many people in the past to join P&Z to get a feel for what it's like to be up here on the board. And we would have even liked to have made it kind of an ordinance that a person should, so that they learn before they actually sit up here as a board member, but we couldn't do that. And so I still say that is absolutely awesome. She put herself out there for that and for the vote. She did not lose by very much at all, and but I would like to see her put in another year's worth of P&Z myself. So I've been told that Brett has done a good job on P&Z, and that he does a lot of research and a lot of reading, and that was proven in P&Z, and I appreciate that. And so I would have to, well, I would make a motion to approve Brett, but Terry gets to speak first.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Much on that. So I enjoyed Bobby. I get a kick out of Miss Bobby. And I want her to hang in there, and I hope she runs next year, because I won't be. I'm going to go to P&Z instead. So we'll just switch. So for now, I will, because Brett has been on P&Z for 2 years, I would go with him, and I would most definitely support Miss Bobby for next year's election.
Me too.
She can put banners all over my house if she wishes.
I have a motion for Brett from Kramer. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumacher. Further discussion from the board? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Yeah.
We have 3 ayes and 1 nay. We thank you for that. So you may take a seat up here, Mr. Thomas. Thank you. And you have the oath of office.
That's Brett's oath of office. It's your copy, Brett.
You want me to give them the oath?
Yes,
Please.
please.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Brent Thomason,
I, Brett Thomason,
having been elected to the office of Board of Trustees
having been elected to the office of Board of Trustees
within and for the town of Hermosa,
within the town of Hermosa,
in said county and state,
and said county and state,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
the
States,
state of South Dakota,
the state of South Dakota,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and the ordinance of said town of Hermosa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all duties of my said office of Board of Trustees.
perform all duties of my said office of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
Should say
Welcome aboard.
elected on here.
I thought it said, well, he was appointed.
Appointed.
Oh,
He's
my bad.
appointed for 1 year.
Okay,
Congratulations,
sorry,
sir.
my bad.
Thank you.
And do I need to do it again?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And so we have that, we will adjourn
Wait,
this
no,
portion
Linda's-
of the meeting and start again to where we come back into the Board of Trustees then to do Kramer.
Okay,
Because we basically have done the first section, and so we'll adjourn, then we'll reassign the meeting, then we'll re-enact and
Okay.
Kramer as far as where we go there. So motion to adjourn at 6:19.
So moved.
Second.
Schumach makes that motion, Hendrickson seconds it, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. I would like to now at 6:19 reconvene the Hermosa Town Board regular meeting Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. Motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
Schumach makes that, Hendrickson seconds that motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Roll call, of course, is Hendrickson.
Here.
Holsworth here, Kramer, Schumach, and Thomason.
Here.
Acknowledgement of the trustee conduct, board and conduct obligations. All of you basically have that also. Now we'll do the Board of Trustees oath of office for Linda Kramer.
I, Linda Kramer,
I, Linda Kramer,
having been elected to the office of Board of
having
Trustees
been elected to the office of the Board of Trustees
within and for the town of Hermosa,
within and for the town of Hermosa,
in said county and state,
in said county and state,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and the ordinances of the said town of Hermosa.
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all duties of my said office of Board of Trustees.
perform all said duties of my office of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
Yes,
Welcome aboard.
thank you.
And as we remind everybody, with Brett being appointed, his spot will of course be open next year for election again too, so, but we appreciate that. And I did move ahead on 10, I'm sorry about that.
so could I make sure that everyone signs that? I need one copy of the Code of Ethics
Correct.
signed. You all have a copy to take home with you, but I have one that needs to be signed by everyone.
Okay.
All right. Is this it?
Mhm.
Oh, jeez. I'll be right up there on top.
Have yours.
We're just gonna
We're
sign the
just
same
signing
one,
this
right?
one.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're doing,
Just take one home for yourself that,
okay.
I don't see yours.
You should get a copy of the signed one.
I will. I thought of that too, yeah, okay,
Have
all right,
a blank sheet of paper.
okay.
So then you can have this one back,
Okay,
put it in the file for future use.
You gonna keep yours?
I can.
Because there's one in the packet also. So everybody has it. You don't have a packet?
yeah.
Jeez.
I said, yep, I do, I do.
We're good.
Sorry about that.
Thanks.
Okay. That being said, next, appointments.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you gonna do that, you had Bert up here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Very good. We will move back to the request for info for Roberta. Gosh, I was hoping we'd
You
hold it
tried,
for the
Bert.
whole meeting. We really didn't want to make it this easy, did we? So, in your packets, you have a letter from Bert, as everybody knows, from the library. We appreciate her being here, as well as Miss Hazel Strum as her attendee here, and we appreciate that. Bert, you have a little comment that you want to make with your letter here?
Yes, yes. I've had the book sales down at the county fairgrounds for several years now. And at the point where I really can't haul all those books and fixtures and everything down there anymore. My volunteers are all older than I am. So it's become impossible to do it down there. I would like to hold book sales out of the basement storerooms on a regular basis. I've got a lot of books and movies and materials that are donated. I'd like to see them get back into the hands of the residents.
Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll have comment from each member of the board. I think the only thing we had was making sure the liability portion of it when they're having book sales down there. Now, especially since we have the food pantry also, was a discussion that was brought up. What do you think about that, Mr. Johnson?
What's her position? Is her,
She's in
The
the library
librarian.
next
That's the
door.
county
On a
library.
county.
oh, so you'd be covered under the county policy, right?
Well, I'm not sure what the precedence would be, whether it would be the town's premises insurance for liability or,
Well, we could do a similar lease agreement with the county.
That's what we went for the food pantry.
Yeah, and then they would be covered under their policy and ours.
So,
Chester County has their own liability
Absolutely.
insurance, so
yes, absolutely.
we could do that.
do you have any problems?
So Miss Bert, how many times are you gonna do this a month?
I would really like to have a regular, scheduled time for it. It would be easiest for me if I could do it for 2 to 5 on Fridays,
Oh,
if that would work. That way, kids will be out of school during the year, gives people a chance to get in.
I don't have a problem with that.
Kramer?
Commissioners would have to approve that.
Pardon?
Custer County Commissioners would have to sign off on it.
As long as the county and we get the insurance all squared away, I am absolutely perfectly fine with it. I don't think Friday afternoons conflicts with anything else that's going on down there.
If it did, I'd be happy to put it out and notice that we wouldn't be open for book sales that day.
So would it be every Friday?
I would like to.
And so would that mean that you would want to kind of leave it set up then?
Well, no,
So to
I mean,
speak?
I have the 2 storerooms downstairs.
Mhm.
They are already set up. The books are on shelves, they're organized. It's ready to go. All I have to do is open up
Open the
my
door.
doors and I might, pull out the video rack just to make it easier to get at it.
I think it's awesome.
Hendrickson?
My only concern is parking, and the only reason I'm concerned is for you, so.
Otherwise, I think it's an awesome deal.
I don't anticipate there being a lot of traffic, honestly.
No, I don't either, but I just wanna know, you know, if he's okay if somebody occasionally parks over on his property.
I can address that with notifying people that
Okay.
will be open and ask them to please park at the library.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
How about parking at the haha?
Well, they
Yep.
could.
Yeah.
I would think that would be legitimate, and it's not much of a walk.
And that's with us with that lot too, that I wouldn't have a problem with them parking over there either. So that would be good on that portion of it. Habitat would be good to go also there. And I think as long as, like Mitch said, just a letter of statement that the commissioners are okay with it, with their insurance, and that we name our insurance and let them know what's going on, so it's added on, so we have that portion of it. It just, the liability anymore, it
Yeah.
just,
I understand. I looked at
so
insurance.
otherwise I think it's a great idea too. So if we get that cleared, we can start quickly.
Okay, I'll look into the board of commissioners then.
So what I
We're
like,
gonna have a lease agreement.
and I was gonna say with Brent here too,
What'd you say?
we'll ask your
We're gonna
opinion.
have a lease agreement like we have with the
Well-
church.
The library is already in this building.
Correct.
Oh, do they have a lease agreement here?
Yes.
Oh, so we can just modify that, do we have a lease agreement with that one?
Mhm.
With the library? Oh, okay, so you can just,
It's right next door.
I don't think we need to add anything really, it's the same building, isn't
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we're hooked on. I mean,
It's all one.
it's on one
it?
building.
We just do a little addendum, adding the basement area.
Okay.
Or I don't know how you, I didn't do that lease, so I don't know what it says as far as
Okay.
the description, but
Yeah,
we
because
could just do an
mainly,
addendum to that so they can rent the basement.
Okay.
I think there is mention of basement storage
Okay, if
area.
there is, then we don't need to do anything.
Okay.
I'll have to look at the lease.
Okay.
I don't remember. I thought there was a mention of it though.
Okay,
Brent,
Yeah, because she has rooms down there.
okay, well, that's probably true then. If that's the case, then we don't need to do anything.
I think it's a great idea.
excellent. So yeah, the only thing we gotta do is make sure that in the insurance portion of the lease agreement, that that's covered. And with the consequences of the storage is one thing, but having book sales where the public is in and out, we wanna make sure that portion of it is also okay on the insurance portion of it. So I need a motion to approve that, as long as all of that is taken care of. Hendrickson makes that motion.
Second.
Second by Kramer. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much, I really appreciate it.
You bet. We appreciate your community commitment that you do for the kids and the adults in the community.
Yep, well, couldn't do it without you guys too.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thanks.
See you, Linda.
All right, thank you for that. Now we can move into appointments if everybody's okay with that. We have item A is election of board of trustee officers. Item A is president.
Okay. I'll make a motion that, Dan, you just stay where you're at.
Okay,
Are you willing to do that, Dan?
I will. I would accept it again for another year
I'll second that motion.
after a lot of discussion with the home and the way things have been the last couple of years, but I would still accept that if the board has confidence, and I would be more than willing to take and carry on with items that we still have a lot of unfinished business with, so I would appreciate that with the support of the board.
I second
Okay.
it.
Motion cease.
I'll make a motion that motion cease.
I have a motion by Kramer cease, second
Second.
by Schumacher. Vote, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed?
Nay.
We have one nay, and of course I'll abstain. For vice president, motion made and second to nominate, I would make a motion for Kramer if she would take that nomination.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
I'll second
Second by Mr. Tomlinson. Any further discussion? If being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
We have one nay and 4 ayes, and so Kramer will then be vice president. Thank you. And you, of course, I was hoping it will accept that. So,
Oh, yeah, you
um,
yeah, you didn't ask her.
I will accept.
well, we appreciate it. Assignment of subcommittees, right now on water, I believe we have Kramer and Schumacher, correct?
Uh-huh.
Would you two still be willing to do that?
Oh, yeah,
Kramer is chair.
yeah.
Okay, on sewer, I believe we had Schumacher, and then we had, I
Vicky.
believe, Hendrickson, correct? Would you two still be willing to do that department?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and then for streets, it was me, which I would like to still stay there. And then for code, I don't believe we had anybody there. It used to be King. So I would like to see Thomason, if you would accept that.
I will.
Be second on streets. And then law enforcement, I would like to know if Hendrickson would take the chair on that.
Sure.
And then second would be Thomason. Would you take that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have Hendrickson on law enforcement, Thomason second. Finance committee, of course, is always president, vice president. So that'll be I and Kramer on that part of it. Okay, any questions? Okay. Item C is appointment and oath of office of Mitch Johnson, town attorney, valid through June 20th, 2023. Will Mr. Johnson take that appointment?
No, this is assignment.
Yes. Same rates as it's been for the last 4 years.
Yep, and we've appreciated that, so I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes that motion, second by Hendrickson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You want to do
Yes.
that oath of office? Okay. I, Mitch Johnson,
I, Mitch Johnson,
having been appointed to the office of town attorney
having been appointed to the office of town attorney
within and for the town of Hermosa,
within and for the town of Hermosa,
in said county and state,
in said county and state,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota, and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and that I will willfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
thank you, to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all duties of my said office of town attorney.
perform all duties of my said office of town attorney.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch.
Item D is appointment and oath of office of Elmer Claycomb, floodplain administrator, valid through June 20th, 2023. Will you take that position, sir?
Yes, sir.
We appreciate that. Mr. Johnson, will you please give him his oath of office? Do you have one?
Yes,
A spare one for him?
he'll remember.
Oh,
I, Elmer Claycomb,
I, Elmer Claycomb,
having been appointed to the office of floodplain administrator
having been appointed to the office of floodplain administrator
within and for the town of Hermosa,
for the town of Hermosa,
in said county and state,
in said county and state,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all duties of my said office of floodplain administrator.
perform all duties of the office of floodplain administrator.
we'll make
You
him,
need to sign that and give it to Gail.
And we'll make a final with a motion to approve.
So moved.
Schumacher makes that motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Hendrickson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You can just sign.
Next
Signature.
is oath of office of Gail Bodeker, Town Finance Officer. Will you take that position?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. Motion to approve Gail Bodeker.
I'd make that.
So
Hendrickson makes that. Second by Kramer.
Man, God.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
I, Gail Boddicker,
I, Gail Boddicker,
having been hired to the office of Finance Officer
having been hired to the office of Finance Officer
within and for the town of Hermosa,
within and for the town of
in
Hermosa,
said county and state,
in said county and state,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
the Constitution of the state of South Dakota,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and the ordinances of said town of Hermosa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
perform all duties of my said office of Finance Officer.
perform all duties of my said office of Finance Officer.
Thank you.
Who notarizes you?
You.
I'm a notary, so I can do that. Don't have my seal with me,
So you
Right.
you can do
but.
that. Yeah.
Next stage, so. Now, with all of this and the committees, of course, I will, like each committee member at each board meeting, if we want to save Mr. Ferguson the trouble of coming up, you can do your reports. Thank you, Elmer.
Thanks.
Am I excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I never know what question is suddenly going to come up.
So with that being said, the committee members, to save time in the meetings, can do a report for the individuals. And Mr. Ferguson is our biggest individual with Public Works on what we need for committee reports. If there's anything that's itemized or detailed that we need more information on, then of course he would come to that portion of the meeting. So we'll definitely look at that circumstance from there. We've had the discussion about abatements and doing that, and that's our next item on 12 is law enforcement and abatements. And with Hendrickson being there, of course, all of us are abatement officers and what we do. And I know Hendrickson has brought it up several times about whom will be going around and reviewing them. And I was going to ask if she wanted to be the one to do that, or we would just continue to do it as board members and by complaint. So you don't want to do that?
I gotta think on that, I'll let you know next meeting.
Okay. And there's going to be several items that need to be addressed now on several properties. So we're probably, as board members, going to want to look and drive by the properties. I will make a list up of what I know of and recommend, and then as usual, we all confirm that by verifying. And then, of course, anytime we get complaints, they're anonymous, and then we verify and go from there, and then we have signatures by each one as we go through the abatement process. So we definitely want to look at that portion of it. Normally, if we had law enforcement would address a big portion of that. So we'll have that portion of it also. We don't have any representation for law enforcement here tonight. Did you, and I'm assuming now from now on, Vicki, you'll more than likely get reports, or as we get further into the contract, we've got some stuff to discuss. If anybody is available tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we are going to have a special meeting and try to discuss some of them items along with items for the trip to Pier also. So we thought we would try to hit it as far down the line as we could. So we'd have Schumacher. I know you said your Wednesdays are Casper a lot of times. so you may not be able to make it.
I might not be, I doubt I will be, just depending on what time. I'm usually done there by noon if there's no issues, or if there's minimal issues.
Okay, so we'll play it by ear and that way you'll be aware of it.
I'll let you know though.
Yep, that'd be very appreciated. So with that, anything further, Vicki, that you want on the law enforcement side of it?
No, not right now.
So we have no committee report, no Homeland Security grant, other than we know we're waiting on that. Brad's gonna take vehicles, he said, in.
Seen Brad.
We'll have to maybe call him and find out if he's going to do the arrangements and take them in and get the updates done.
Yeah, that, we're gonna have to get an extension on those radios being installed otherwise because it's time's out at the end of June.
Well, maybe we can contact him tomorrow and see if he can please get them done before that period. Would be helpful.
And did you get the information on, what was he checking into? Being a kind of a volunteer or whatever? He was gonna work with Custer County on that too?
No, we can't.
You know, he
Just
found
a
out it
security
can't be
guard.
done. Security
Not
guard.
without certification
Okay,
was our big thing on that one. So-
I hadn't heard that, thank you.
So we will be looking at that portion of it under law enforcement that, if we get that individual that wants to do, some of that and turns in an application of interest, that would be helpful. And we do have one individual that is interested, in getting certified and looking at, being in that position of law enforcement for the community. And so, Mike, if you want to stand up a minute.
Yes, sir.
This is the individual that bought Mr. Flug's home. And,
Oh, okay.
There.
he has done a lot of security work, a lot of law enforcement work, and he had mentioned that he would be interested to go to certification.
Yes.
If it's something that we think about, talk about in the law enforcement end of it. Vicki Hendrickson is now in charge of law enforcement, so
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
if you will want to talk with her a little bit more, as well as the board, and the anticipations, your interest, submit a letter of interest. We
Okay.
have letter of interest that can be supplied through the office here, resume type situation,
Sure.
and we can take a peek at that and see where we're at in that circumstance.
Prepare that easily. Sure. I'd be honored.
We thank you for that,
Of
and
course.
welcome to the community.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Love it
sir.
here.
Yes, we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a great town.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
I would like to know how many hours he would like to work.
Ask.
Mike,
Yes, ma'am.
my question would be, how many hours would you like to work a week?
30 minutes max. 45 minutes on call. You know what? Family is number one to me, but officially I've been a truck driver for the past 15, 16 years. And my volunteer work has been as director and assistant director of our church security team of over 1,000. And the previous director of our security team was a master chief of the local county sheriff's department. We became good friends, and we trained a lot with them, with the sheriff's department, with their facilities, used a lot of their SWAT training techniques. We worked together as a team, keeping our community safe. We got a lot of death threats all the time to our pastor. We worked as a team to make sure that we were active shooter trained. We did hostage negotiation, we did de-escalation, you name it. Whatever officers went through, we went through on a weekly basis with our church to make sure that we were on the same page with the local police department. When they responded, they knew us, we knew them. Don't shoot me, we won't shoot you type of situation. So as much time as I need to, I'm used to working 14-hour days as a truck driver, so that doesn't bother me. 10, 12, 14-hour days wouldn't bother me a bit, as long as I get home to see my girls, on a daily basis. Weekends are fine, it doesn't matter. Church is something I can do during the week, it's something I can catch up on later, but whatever this town needs, to be honest with you. Nights will be a little tough. I gotta get used to being lunar powered instead of solar powered, but we'll figure it out. So, that's no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll appreciate a letter of interest.
Of course.
Thank you, sir. As we said, tomorrow, Custer County contract for law enforcement, we'll discuss that. And what we want to do and where we want to put ourselves for a position and the numbers that we're arrived at and where they're going to be at. They put a number out there for us, we can counter that number and put what we feel comfortable, and we'll discuss that tomorrow. Animal complaint, I believe that was taken care of before we started the meeting. There was a report on that, and it sounds like it's been resolved. So at this point, then I believe we can remove that from the agenda. Motion to do so.
Okay.
Motion by Kramer, second by Hendrickson.
Yeah, sure.
Discussion, yes ma'am.
Whatever happened, this is totally off that, so you can finish that and then I'll ask the question.
Pardon?
Finish what you're doing and then I'll ask you the question.
Oh, I thought maybe
So we
you had
got
a
a vote.
question on
I
it.
do, but it's on a different animal complaint. That's what I thought this was about.
Oh, okay. Well, this
So you
one
need to vote
was
on that.
on the one on Second Street.
Yeah, this isn't Second Street,
Okay.
okay?
So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
So, there was an issue with a cat that was in a cage. And everybody, for the most part, knows about it. And it was on Facebook, and it ended up that Battle Mountain came, the Custer County, somebody came from Custer County. The cat had been destroyed by the guy next door to me, drowning it in a garbage can.
See, and I guess on that, you know, we never did get a complaint.
Well, that's what I'm
And-
wondering, why there hasn't been a complaint from Battle Mountain and or Custer, because I looked up the laws on it. It is inhumane to do that to an animal.
Oh, of course.
It
but
is
we-
also listed as from anywhere from a felony and a misdemeanor. There are fines that can be imposed, and this man more or less stated he drowned multiple cats.
Well, what I'd like is that, like I say, number one, there's a lot of hearsay. We're not factual on it.
I
And
know.
to get what we need to do to properly do it, we need that information permit and or complaint form so that we can look
Well,
into it and formally
you're gonna
address it.
tell me.
Shuma?
Yeah, I talked to Seth at the last meeting for information on that, and he was supposed to get it, but we haven't seen that either.
So until we have something there, we really can't act on it, but I appreciate
No, but I wanted
the
to bring it
interest.
up so that everybody was aware of it.
Thank you. So yeah, until we have that, and like I say, I don't, the hearsay in that type of circumstance, we just want to do our research and properly handle it and move forward in a good way on it, so. If nothing
Excuse me.
further, yes ma'am.
Dan, I did talk to the Battle Mountain Humane Society, and they are under contract from Custer County and the city of Custer to work in Hermosa, to come and pick up dogs. Cats are a completely different issue because there's so many cats. They're
That's
way
not a
over.
population control way to do it.
No, but she said that they are under contract to come over here to work, and they have worked, like they work Fairburn, and so they are working, and we can call them if there's a problem with the dog. They'll pick up, they'll take it down to the Battle Mountain Humane Society. They're under contract with Custer County. We can't do anything with Pennington County because we're not in their jurisdiction.
Correct. Well, that's good to know because we weren't aware of that before, and we did have before where they weren't able to come over because of affordability and staff. And so we ran into a lot of problems on that portion of it. That's why we started taking them to Rapid and doing that part. Do we ever get an answer from Paw Patch if there's any assistance available there?
I didn't, I'm sorry, I did not, but
So well, at least we have an option, and our options still in animal control are call law enforcement, and then after law enforcement, they can act on it if we get a complaint within here, and then we have Battle Mountain as far as being a circumstance that we can act on that, so we appreciate that, so.
Yeah, I have a handout here.
Yes, sir, I'll take that.
There's a nationwide program for spay, neuter, and release programs. I guess I'd like to find out if, or I'd like to know if there's, isn't a vet in Rapid or somewhere here that would be on that program that makes it easier to take the cats in. They're not looking for homes, but they are spayed, neutering them so that they can be put back out and live out their lives. However, in a lot of places, that's the solution for their feral cats.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll do some more research and look at that and go from that circumstance. Appreciate that. We'll have hopefully some more interest on that and information possibly from Paw Patch. And see if there's any interest or available assistance there also.
Okay.
Item 13 is legal. We still have a pending situation there. Anything further from legal?
Well, no, I gave you those statutes, you wanted to look through those two chapters, and I'm not sure what you're gonna gain from reading those, but that was the reason why the Pennington County wasn't inclined to enter into an agreement, because they didn't think our agreement complied with those two chapters. So it is what it is.
I talked to one of the commissioners about this, and they're willing to work on it, but they hate to go into a contractual side, actually to sign, is what we did with here. And you know, like we did with the Lone Coyote subdivision, and submitted everything through them and then worked back and forth, and I expressed that it's basically the same circumstance that we did there and working with them, and it's just a communication level back and forth, and they said they'd like to keep it at that platonic level and not enter into an agreement as what we did with Custer County at this time. Now that the election is over, that might change a little bit, where they may consider looking at it again. So I will still continue to try to contact them, maybe even get on their agenda and talk to them about it. I read both of what you had presented. It is very clear that they don't have to enter into anything, and they can keep it platonic is what they already have, and they have statutes that are already there and developed that we communicate back and forth. We have to go to the levels of the plating, they have to approve, we have to then come back to them, show them that whole situation. So we're basically going through almost.
The main thing was that I was with Custer County, the agreement had to do with permitting. Who issued the permits? I don't know if the statutes are that clear with Pennington County as what we have with Custer County. That's the only difference I can see.
Yeah.
So maybe it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, doesn't really matter.
So we can either leave it pending or remove it until we learn more information.
We can remove it.
Removal by Schumach made the motion, second.
I second.
By Tomlinson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. Engineer, the water rehab project WRT system, we're still waiting for them test results. Have we had anything yet?
Next week, we're talking.
Pardon?
Next week, we're talking.
That'd be appreciated, very appreciated. Hermosa sidewalk, we did an update on that. We're just waiting for progress on that for the bid to go forward on it and phase changes, so we'll have that.
Sounds like it's gonna be spring of 2023.
Unfortunate, but yeah. Sewer project lagoon expansion, that will also is in a pending right now. We're signing that until we find out more Thursday and where we're at in that portion of it. Water sewer facility plans, resolutions, reviews. And once again, that situation is also in the same holding pattern until after Thursday. Town of Hermosa Water and Sewer Extension Project, once again is in a holding pattern until after Thursday. Hermosa Hills Drainage, I was going to talk to Mr. Preston again about that, and with the rain and stuff, they haven't been able to do anything for the culverts or work anything. And I didn't get a call to them before we came into the meeting, see about graveling the beginning of that development. So I know the moisture's been great, but the moisture also has hampered some of that work. Whitney Street Drainage, with South Dakota Rural Water, we're working with them as what we said earlier, and basically awaiting some plumbing work to be done by Mr. Ferguson, and Mr. Urban, and then we'll have some more answers at hopefully the next meeting. You're thinking you're gonna do that before the next meeting?
Yeah.
And then Mike will come back and test? Okay, so we'll leave it at that, and we'll look forward to seeing and hopefully hearing on that one. The Hermosa School Certificate of Occupancy, we're waiting on that until we meet on the completion of Fifth Street. We did meet with Mr. Burgess, Gail and I did, walked through that, expressed our concerns with how they were going to address it with Simons. Simons wasn't aware of needing to add some millings to that road prior to doing the chip seal. And then we expressed also on that, the boils on the side of the road, I felt were dump truck caused, related. We know there was problems there before, but they worsened. And they won't stand through any of that. That would basically be our responsibility. There was discussion with Mr. Burgess about the millings. And if Simons were to do that, Simons didn't have any instructions to do that. All they had instructions to do was chip seal. And I said, you can't chip seal and leave an 1.5 inch lip to come over. It's just gonna break everything right up again. So you gotta smooth that surface out, fill the dips, the chatter spots, to make it proper. And Mr. Burgess then expressed that if he did do any of that, he would have Iron Horse more than likely do it. These bids that you have here were to give us numbers on what we had for removal. I guess maybe you got all the same ones, did you?
3.
It should have sorted, didn't it sort?
Yeah, there's 3 different ones, everybody has a copy of them. And so the first one is the cost for the gravel to finish the alley between 3rd and 4th on Joe and Brandy's alley there, and put in rock, level, wheel pack with base course rock, 1 inch to 1.5 inch base course rock is $1448.40. The second bid is the work on Fifth Street and between that, take out the material between the sidewalk and the road, replace with asphalt millings, which it was figured out for 60 ton, water, steel face compact it, and have it ready for chip seal. That number was at $5844.60. The amount of distance on that was over half of Fifth Street to remove that because of the boils and the side dump truck work that was performed. The third price was performed on Fifth Street also, was if Burgess from Dean Kurtz wasn't going to fill all of the scald and uneven surfaces that need to be down there with millings, repair, level, steel face roll, pack, water, was gonna be $64.26. This number, I would like to send this to Dean Kurtz, that if they can't get Iron Horse to do the work, that this contractor would be willing to do the work for this amount of money, to do it to the specifications the way it should be done, if he's interested. This one here is a situation where, unfortunately, it's got to be done before we chip seal. Otherwise, we're going to have that mess along the sidewalk all the way up, and the boils there. And this is a maximum. If it takes less material, simpler, faster, easier, it'll only be time and material. So what we would need to act on would be whether to approve the work for the Fifth Street repair ahead of them. We sent out an email to Dean Kurtz because he was supposed to get with Simons, Iron Horse, reply to us, let us know what he was gonna do on the project and how he was gonna put it together. and we have heard nothing. And we met with them last Thursday. So we re-sent that email today, asking that we would please get that information so we can be ahead of what we need to do the street the proper way. Otherwise, it's just gonna break down immediately.
So these costs include the cost of the gravel?
Which one?
Oh,
All of them, like the first one?
Correct. That's total, labor, material,
All
everything.
All material.
The alley we talked about prior to for street repair, when we had the water problem, and I went in and stabilized it. This is just to complete it now that it's stabilized and be able to bring that alley back to condition of what it was before. The third option, the $6,426 one, is only gonna be sent to Dean Kurtz. We're hoping this is their, I feel, responsibility, not ours.
so the number 3 is what you want Dean Kurtz to reimburse?
Right.
them on?
Well, they either get their contractor to do it, or they can have ours if Iron Horse can't do it.
And they're paying for it?
Correct, they would. We would get approval. We know that he won't. It just wasn't a good morning for him. He wasn't happy. But we had pictures of what is before to what it is now. And we just expressed all we want is that brought back. We want what we had when we started. So I'd like a motion to approve the third and fourth alley, and a motion to approve the work we need to do along the sidewalk.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes that motion. Do I have a second? Second by Tomlinson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. On the third item, are we okay to send that to Dean Kurtz? And an expression that this is what our contractor would do, and then have that in that circumstance. Motion to do that too, please.
I make the motion.
Tomlinson makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumach. Yes.
What if Dean Kurtz says they're not going to do bring in the millings? Can you still do the other project without what we were asking Dean Kurtz to do?
Well, either or way is what we discussed. To get their certificate of occupancy, as it is in the building permit, they have to bring it back to that condition that we started. And otherwise, they're not gonna get their certificate of occupancy. So we will still have to do the work. I'm not going to authorize it till we hear from Dean Kurtz, so we can coincide to know when that work needs to be performed prior to him coming. And that's why we wanted a week's notice minimum to them coming in, so we can coordinate together.
Okay.
So that's where we'll be at on that. The one that we're sending to him, that we aren't going to do this work, the one for the 6,426, this is only gonna have a note attached to it from us with the email stating, our contractor would perform this work for you if Iron Horse cannot perform this work for you.
Right.
At the standards that need to be done prior to chip seal to turn Fifth Street back into the street it was prior to construction on the school. And I can help you with that wording if you need when you go to authorize that and send it to Steve Burgess.
But what I'm asking is that we can't do the 5844 proposal unless the 6426 proposal is
Correct.
done. Okay. Accomplished, whatever.
And
Okay.
we can do the work, it's gotta be done regardless. And with us and floating in the millings, it's gotta be done regardless. That boil and that edge has to be cleaned up. Otherwise, the work can't be performed. That's what's unfortunate.
I have the air on. Okay. I turned the air back on. They're hot.
Whoa,
Okay?
Okay,
So we'll just
okay.
coordinate.
He's
We're-
hot.
whoa.
Okay, thank you.
So all we're gonna do is we're at the mercy of Burgess,
Right.
but we're prepared this way. So we can pull the trigger and be ahead of it and not have them come in and do their part, and then who we are with a boil along that sidewalk.
Right.
We can't do that. We don't wanna be backwards. Okay. Thank you, board. On that item then, on Roy's Drive-In, on sewer line letter,
You know, I did not put that in the packet.
okay, we need to get that out.
Okay.
That is something that
Oh,
We
the
will
reason
add
why I
as an
did not put
agenda.
it in the packet was because he didn't have it yet, and I didn't want to put it out there as a,
what we'll do
something.
is, can we add it tomorrow so we can read that together?
Sure.
And then we can act on it.
Okay,
So the letter's basically just gotta be mailed. We aren't doing any work, we aren't doing anything else. We
Right.
just want the board's approval that they've read it, they understand it, they're okay with it, and we mail it.
right, okay.
So we'll add that tomorrow. This facility plan for the booster and water meters, we're gonna talk to ACES about that. We had our presentation last night. On that, we know what direction we wanna go on automated meters. We just need to do some research and see if there's ARPA money yet that will be able to be applied on that. I appreciate everybody that attended it last night, so that you're up to speed on it and know what's going on and what we have for the ability on the meters and being able to read. And Mr. Ferguson, I thank you for that portion too. So that way we're all up to speed. The amazing part that's gonna be kind of unique is the meter, one of the meters that we're looking at putting in, once it's on the computer side, we can physically shut that individual off if they're late on water payments or in non-compliance from the computer here instead of sending Mr. Ferguson out in the field. So that for the person that's always paying late or delinquent on their payments that's not following our ordinance, the girls can automatically see that through the computer, push the button and shuts the water off.
More so, the other meter that I thought was really unique is that it registers 4 different times a day of what water usage is, and that there's also an app for the citizens that they can look at, such as if you're away from your home, you can look at the app and make sure that there's no water being used. If there is water being used, you can call and find out if there's a water leak. But it registers into our office 4 different times a day, and we get an opportunity to see if there's any problems immediately. So that's kind of a neat, unique process.
It's a nice efficiency. It's a $50,000 investment for the software, for the remotes, for the application, labor to put this in. So that's why we're gonna investigate. It's not something that if we can't get any ARPA money, that we do half this year, half next year type situation, and doing the applications there. So another efficiency level to help us keep on that percentage level of water loss that we want to be, and more efficient for our public works department. So we're going to appreciate that. Okay. The rural development approval to prepare the application, we have made that approval. We're leaving this on here for that approval. Once again, that's waiting on the Thursday application, and then we'll go from there. You have a question, sir?
On the previous item, I'm just curious what the booster facility plan is.
Pardon?
The booster facility plan?
Yeah, I explained that. That basically, we are looking at going in for the fall, applying a booster to our line on the booster station that we have presently on the hill, that we are gonna go from a 2-inch to a 6-inch, so that we can supply fire flows for all areas of the community and be prepared for that. Thank you. Item 15, if you have nothing else under engineering for the board. is planning and
Thank you.
zoning.
Thanks.
P and Z June 14th, 2022 minutes. Everybody had the review there. We appreciate Joan being here, the president of the board. Any thoughts, questions on them P and Z minutes that we should be aware of? Joan?
I don't think so, mainly just, G&G was approved with the stipulation that Jill and Gary double check on those measurements on the site plan. There was an error or two, and we asked that that be completed before it came to you.
Okay, thank you. And I read that in there where there was confusion on the platting to the final plat and all of that we went through. Making sure that that register was taken care of on that Mylar. And I'm assuming he said he was gonna go up and register that right away on that Mylar, so
He
that
did.
platting was done.
Correct.
On that portion of it. So with that being the condition of the application on that is pretty huge on that part of it, so. Anything else that you were aware of on that, Mr. Thomason?
No.
So, next item, if there's no questions on A, is B, 2022-17 Lot TN Wilder, G&G Development, Residential Building Digging Permit, Manufactured Home Moving Permit. A motion to approve, if everybody is clear on the staff report, to allow that to happen.
I'll make that motion.
Hendrickson makes that motion, do I have a second? By Schumach. Further discussion? As long as we make sure where Mr. Ferguson, then where the biggest things on that staff report is verifying measurements and offsets that weren't set properly on the sketch plan on it, so we'll wanna make sure of that. And I think as we're going forward, that has been something that Mr. Ferguson has been doing, is that preliminary investigation on these, which he'll go down and review the site prior to that coming to P and Z, so that that way we're verified that that lot setbacks, problems that we've had, like we did in Hermosa Hills, don't occur again. And for his suggestions is why we went to that format to do the pre-investigation before we have the application brought in, so we have verification on that. So we do appreciate that, so hopefully we avoid some situations down the road. So we have a motion, we have a second, no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item C is the P and Z position, letter of intent from Mr. Chuck Urban. And Mr. Urban is here in presence of it. Motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
So I have Hendrickson made the motion, Kramer seconded the motion. Any further discussion? We appreciate Mr. Urban
Yes,
stepping
thank
up to take that position and giving your public service to the community. Your involvement with Public Works is appreciated. I think, as I've heard from many of the members, your involvement will be welcomed with your knowledge, and to be able to convey what Mr. Ferguson has said and does and wants and achieves in contractors licensing, and as you know, he's working towards his apprenticeship to be licensed, which is a good thing, and working towards his apprenticeships also for being certified. So that's also gonna be a very good system for us. He's being made aware of all the circumstances in town, and the wells, pumps, turn-on, shut-offs, valves. I mean, the appreciation's good. Mr. Ferguson and him are both working together with Jill, putting spreadsheets together for our valves, for water lines, updating policy procedure for rural water. Tightening up the ship is basically what they're doing, and we appreciate all you gentlemen's efforts and extra hard work on that. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
We will have the bulk water filling terms and conditions application. Did everybody get a chance to review that? Questions?
Why are we doing this? I thought we were not going to be selling bulk water.
Well, we are with our lower well, and the way Mr. Ferguson set it up down there for bulk water
All
now.
right, since it's
And-
been set up, that's different.
And we put that new pump in down there. He's replumbed it. He's got a little bit of work left on the lid, I believe is the only thing that's left, or did you complete that yet? Then he's going to, as far as the standpipes, have that situation. What we want to lean towards is code for the door or for the system itself, so we don't have them in the pump house, and then for the gate. And then this is a liability application, so that basically the girls are aware of what's going on. And I'll let Gail kind of bring that up, because her and Jill put this thing together.
I'm going to give all credit to Jill. This town is really fortunate to have Jill on staff. She gets in and she does a lot of research, and she might, pull things off of other people's websites, but that's okay, because that's what they're there for. But Jill has done an exceptional job and has really brought, like you said, us up to doing a lot of things that we haven't done in this office for a long time. So it's just something that we just need to keep track of, and it's not on a scratchy sheet of paper. It's in a file, and it's documented, and so I'm going to give her all credit for these two applications and contracts. So,
And I think it's a liability thing. It's a big thing too, Vicki, on this, because with them filling in different spots like the fairgrounds for all the boring and drilling, we have that receipt. And, we're setting things up with the meters, backflow preventer we want to set up down here. And then down here, they're also setting it up in that circumstance. So we have the safety of the community, the safety of our water sources, but yet liability covered for their responsibility, their reporting. So that's what this whole
Last I
application is.
knew we weren't doing that, so, it just was a surprise to me, so beyond that, that's fine.
And I think the other big thing about this is costs. We need to look through the review of the costs, because with potable water costs versus where we're at with the bulk water, non-potable water costs, we felt some of them costs should go up. That bulk water treated 3,000 is $100, or $10 per additional for 1,000. I think that's way cheap, too cheap for especially treated. Bulk water treated under is $40. I think there should be $100 minimum on everything, no matter whether you get under or not. An additional for $10 per additional 1,000 gallons. Bulk water untreated is 1,000 or more gallons at 40. That's why I say with the treated and the untreated, we need to find that number to go up on that. I don't feel these costs are substantiated for what we charge to make water. We have our own public works circumstance that we need to protect the girls on what they're doing on the billing, what we're doing on the meter reading until we get automated. We have all of this that goes into that behind the scene. So I feel water is a resource that is our main income. We need to be higher on that, and I don't know if Gail had more thoughts on the cost going up on that too?
no, I don't at this point.
It did not go up at the same time the regular water bills went up, correct?
It did, but a small rate.
We didn't go high enough.
No. So I think, this could be put on a work session before we do the approval, and very soon, because we're in the midst of it now. So I think it's something where we fit a day in next week that we can finalize this. And if that's okay with you guys. That's what I was gonna say. So if we catch your time after work, make sure Vicky's good, Linda, and we do a day next week, whether it's after P&Z on Tuesday or something, we can get it handled. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, fine.
In the concrete ordinance, You wanna do that too, the same night?
Yep, sounds good.
And then that way we handle both of them. That's 15E.
Yeah.
Then we can handle both of them on that situation, if that's okay. So shall we set, Vicki, do you have a calendar set date that you're okay on coming in?
Next week?
Yeah. Because if P and Z wants to be involved, I'd like to make it a coordinated effort with P and Z since they're gonna be there, if that's okay with Joan.
As
And
far as I know, everything, any date's okay.
for Tuesday you do?
Yeah, that's fine.
So can we do it with P and Z? Usually you're, what, half hour?
It's usually an hour,
Okay.
sometimes a little longer.
Sometimes 12 minutes.
We'll just put it on your agenda as afterwards, or make our own agenda afterwards. Set their agenda for P and Z. They'll be in attendance. We'll have ours right after. Does that sound okay to the board?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Then that way we have both boards involved. And then everybody can make that decision together. Mr. Ferguson, you're of course always invited. Your input is huge on that part of it. It'd be good to have Mr. Urban here too.
Well, yeah, he will
He'll be
be.
there. He's on the P and Z.
Yep, that's what I like. That's what I say. I like Mr. Urban being there, so. So we're gonna appreciate that. We'll set that and we can handle both of them. And then we'll come back to our board. Really, these are gonna be put on that session and it'll be able to be acted on next Tuesday. So we can remove both of these off of ours as long, and also C and also B. So all four of them items can have a motion to remove.
Okay.
Kramer makes that motion. Second,
Let him have it.
Thomason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carried. If nothing else, yes, ma'am.
Does Hermosa seriously need an 11-page concrete ordinance? 11 pages? I don't understand why we
This is
have,
kind of about a subdivision ordinance that we have, and all they've done is they've separated it and put it together in its own form for the other concrete abilities for somebody doing a driveway, or if they come in to do their own site. Yes, ma'am.
We also added things that we had a lot of actually attendees who made suggestions. We added those things that contractors felt were important. So yes, it is a little more than the subdivision. And one of the things that I was hoping is that you would send that to the engineer to look over before we went into any kind of work session to review it. So we had her thoughts first.
And we still can do that. Send it to her tomorrow and ask Leah to review it and then.
But it does look like a lot, but it's, you know, you've got to also consider the spacing. It's not 10-point type and scrunched together. It's, you know, put in there easy to read.
Has Mr. Ferguson reviewed it yet?
I do not believe so.
So we'd like to have your comments before then too, if we can, and then review it also, since you're doing the inspection, so you're a huge part of that also. So that'd be very helpful. Thank you for that input. And if there's some streamline, excellent. That's what that session's about, and everybody to read it prior to and review it.
okay.
So we'll appreciate that. Anything further under P and Z at this point? Okay. What we're going to do then is move into Public Works Committee report.
Please.
Streets, I don't know, lots and lots of potholes.
There's another thing on that too. I need to get with you both, up there by Linda Dean's place on that culvert on 4th Street there in the corner. She's addressed us about it being plugged in that ditch and not allowing the flows to properly come through there. I watched it in the rain, the flow is coming through, it's not jumping the ditches. But if a guy went in there with the Bobcat, took 4 or 5 swipes, there's a ravine that Gail and I looked at, just down the line from that a little bit, that you could take all that material and just put it in that washout that goes to the next culvert that's completely clean. Might take a little bit of shovel work, just to shovel the end of that out, bring it out. But if you gentlemen could take care of that, that would be helpful. Motion to approve them to do that. And we need to probably check the other ones in town. There's a few others too, Chuck, that have some culvert issues.
Yeah, we've looked at it briefly. Some need to be flushed out.
But I'd make a motion that we allow Mr. Ferguson to do that one and take care of that. I would, if you spend an hour there, you're gonna be done.
Second.
Second by Hendrickson. And then I would like you to review the others and put a, hey, this is what needs to be done. That would be helpful. I know you're looking for stuff to do, so. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Further, sir.
Street lights, everything's working. We have, I believe, a couple in stock yet. And that's water. We have done cammering of the drainage, and we have an area of interest up on Tower Hill. We have no way of isolating that, so that is the idea for tapping that and to be able to pressure check it.
Yep.
And Mikey will come back and do that. And if that is a problem child, then the time to.
How much time do you think you'll have in that?
Now, we'll wet tap it, so it's basically bolting the saddle on and
Half a day?
probably
Time you dig it and set it? So I'd like a motion to allow Mr. Ferguson to do that.
saddle it up and we've got the parts.
Hendrickson makes it, second by Schumach. Further discussion?
We have the parts here now.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
My tapping tool is a Mueller, and there's only two types of corporations that fit that. And it has to come from Northwest Pipe, and I picked that one up today.
No, we'll appreciate you guys as soon as you can get her done. That's a very big importance, so
Okay,
we'll appreciate it.
we've got to hook up the meter yet at the lower pump house for the bulk water. And
How much time do you think before you have that?
in my spare time, or,
Well, between midnight and 6.
yeah, somewhere. I don't know, I hope we can get it in there this next week.
That'd be very good. That'd be a helpful, another great one.
And one of the problems we got where it comes through the floor and goes through the wall, there isn't enough room to get that meter in there. So we're gonna have to move some of that stuff.
To make it happen.
Yeah,
Then you were gonna get everything set up for a code push button?
We were working on that on P and Z, we
Right.
were talking about that.
Yep. Good deal. I knew he'd be the man.
Doing research now on those, getting cost comparisons and everything, but I think it'll be cheaper than an actual camera system and a lot more secure and be able to keep track a lot better.
Nice. And what we were talking about down there, and Chuck had brought this, that we're gonna have the bulk water, that we possibly would need to do a camera. And we were hoping, like if they had a yard waste dumpsters camera, that we could associate that with here. Gail called door security, and he felt that it would, Chuck, you wanna carry it from there?
Yeah, I guess when we were talking about it, that's, I think Jill called it, didn't she? And that's, it's so much more expensive because we'd have to have booster stations involved too. So what we talked about instead was just getting game cameras and putting down there. We can put it to where we can still view the whole thing, they're motion detected, so it'll still get pictures of everybody. You know, once a week or whenever we think there's a problem, we can go pull a chip and come up here and review it right away.
And then you went to the code.
Yeah, when someone actually comes and signs out or fills in the bulk water application, basically they'll get a key card assigned to them, and that goes into a system. That way the numbers are paired. So you know exactly who opens up the gate at what time, just like a hotel or any of those. We used it when I worked Secret Service, so, I mean, they're very secure, and plus someone's held accountable. If someone's stealing water or what have you, then there is a name associated with that and a timestamp. And then you have the trail cam also that has a timestamp. So it's just, and it's a lot cheaper than your actual setting up your cameras.
Yep. So that's the whole system, so everybody's aware of it, to bring everybody up to speed. And eventually we want a fence down there too. And Mr. Ferguson and Chuck are gonna look at that. They both have good ideas about that and with what we have down there for material, and to fence off a segment of that. So Mr. Ferguson's commented, and Chuck, about a turnaround, of course, and the graveling and making it a good station down there, but yet security for the pump house. So that coordination is also being looked at and come back to us.
Plus with using the key cards, that should help us shutting the pump on and off, so that they know how to use the system. It should help from blowing a pump out or blowing lines apart.
Yep, we like it. Thank you for all your efforts, everybody, putting this together. And I think the big thing with all our departments, that anything that happens or occurs in all of these departments, we need to remember from the office staff that the department heads are notified whenever there's problems or anything else. If you guys have anything that happens, the department heads are the first ones to be notified along with the office. And so that way the communication level is always wide open. Everybody's aware of it. The girls are very good about emails, information out there. The department heads then are aware of what's going on. So if there's a question, hey, this is what happened on the sewer or water or streets, law enforcement, everybody's aware of what's going on and can make the call along with them. So that's huge on that communication level. And likewise, the same goes back from these people to the office. Same courtesy. Everybody's aware of it and we don't bypass it. And that's huge for Mr. Ferguson, that chain needs to be all one circle all the way around for everybody to work together. Further, Mr. Ferguson.
Down at the pump house, neighborhood watch has a trailer down there that was quite some time ago, and it needs to go away. It deteriorated, the roof blew off from it, and it's a mess. So, I don't know what you'd like to do about it.
We'll take care of it.
Okay.
We just need sometime to bring a truck down and we'll load it in and remove it.
It's frames and all sorts left about. The roof blew off from it last year, and I see there's another big chunk gone this year, and it's just coming apart.
No, we appreciate that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
And on the water, and the sewer, just locating it just absolutely nuts. We're doing 5 to 6 of them a day, which is taking hours to do. They're in my subdivision down there now, and we were there for 3 hours this morning, and of course they're boring from the ball fields all the way to Whitney Street in one poke. And it's just an absolute miracle they haven't hit something. And, if they're staying at 36 inches, no more, that uncomplicates things immensely. We've had several come Jesus talks down there about the 36 inches. Not a problem for water, but it is on sewer services. And
their main bulk is going between Ferguson and Donna McDermott. They're going in between the houses on the back side. However, they're jumping over South Ferguson and going between the houses and going in to the field back there. And they're crossing the sewer. It's 4.5 feet deep there, the sewer main.
It's too bad that we, when this is all happening, that we didn't think about extra surcharges for what we have to do on our location to compensate.
Too bad we didn't have
so
extra
out of
help.
proportion that, you know, you can't get anything done with it.
He can't. It's,
And they're Jill's ground this deal, and there's 4 or 5 of them laying on my chair every morning, and I'm getting calls besides.
so if anybody's wondering what Chuck and Chuck are
At
doing,
this point now,
it's
some of
incredible.
those earlier ones are expiring, so they're renewing those. They're bringing a whole complete mess down Gumbo Lily, and we've had a really good discussion with them about that, you know. I mean, that's not our, once it goes past Gables, it's not ours, and it's just a matter of time till they cut something. All those
No,
people are on septics out there, but they're, some of the water lines, you know, I mean, the 36 inches is fine, but they get any deeper than that, and, you know, especially when some of them have gone 7.5 feet deep,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's very, very time consuming.
and I don't know an answer to it. You know, the locates is the bad thing about it, that it's the 48-hour situation. There's no way to charge back to them,
no,
you know. If we'd have done it in the very beginning,
I know.
in thoughts of what we were gonna be involved with
The
locations.
problem of it is, even with the maps and stuff, you know, and I put every inch of it in down there, but, you know, that's also been 22 years ago.
Yeah.
I know where most everything is yet, but hopefully by the end of the week they'll be done down there, and hopefully they don't hit anything. And just like this one over here, you know, it was just absolute damn lucky that I was here when they hit that, because that was a mess.
Well, we're lucky. The two differences of the companies, these guys care.
You know,
Those guys,
no.
there was no
they just blow
responsibility.
through. And they've had a dozen things between here and Fairburn and stuff. And they've cut the old and west fiber optic 5 times. Mount Rushmore says you cut it one more time, and you're gonna have to replace the whole thing. Tens of thousands of dollars to plow in a new one, because they've cut it so many times.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter if it's located or not, they just cut it anyway, they don't care.
right?
Kinda reminds you of the Ram and Jam boys in 99, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, and the patience will go hard and heavy with you guys. Anything further?
Yeah, the Laguna is holding its own very well. We have some discoloration in Pond A, which is due to lack of oxygen, and very little or no smell, that I detected anyway when we were there today.
Yeah.
CCS is potholing for Rushmore, and they have about 200 gallons of muddy water. And we've been putting it, they have no place to dump it around here, we've been putting it at the end of the concrete pile at the lagoon, just so you're aware of it. Somebody calls and says what's going on down there. So, it's,
What are they getting charged for that?
I don't know, what do you want to charge them?
Well, if they go to the city dump, they charge them as if it's like hazardous waste, because they don't know what is in it. We know it's mud, but they don't know if there's any contaminations in it. So they actually charge them a special dump fee that goes into a different area whenever they go out to dump that material.
Well, you know, as being a contractor for many, many years and going into unknown territory, you know, the help you get from the community is greatly appreciated a lot of times, and it doesn't drive the cost up of doing business. You know, this stuff can be smoothed out very easily and blended in. It's not like we're dumping it in the water or around, but it is, there is a spoils pile there anyway, so it's not a huge deal, but if you feel you wanna charge them, why, I guess that's up to you guys.
Well, and a lot of
They
times
just
they
started
were
today, so.
gonna look for landowners if they have a big draw or something like that, that they could dump and not have, where we're gonna have the extra cost down here to clean up on that, 'cause that
Well,
concrete.
200 gallons of muddy water is not a huge deal. They figure they'll have to dump 4 or 5 times maybe.
Total,
Pardon me.
total for the whole job?
They're coming down Jumbo Lily's what they're doing. They're locating for Mount Rushmore. There's 3 potholes in town. And some of them, one of them's hauling their stuff out to Mall Road.
I'll call tomorrow and see what the landfill was at. I'm looking for ways to supplement you a little bit on your locate money.
Well, that's it, you know, this thing is.
That's why-
It's so far out of hand that it is, I mean, and Chuck and I together, you know, I discount my time, he's still getting paid by the hour to learn the ropes and see where stuff's at, you know.
Something like that though, that's where contacting the department head at the sewer and letting them know that, so we get approval before we do that, especially going on to city property. So we want to keep that essence across the board, not allow that type of circumstance. So we'll see what they say tomorrow. Anything further?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, we got the parts to do the tap on Tower Hill. And once we'll have him come back and pressure that up.
Right.
See what we get there, so. We've got, some meter parts ordered for fairgrounds. That's an old meter. We'll update the head and the remote on that. And I need to talk to those guys. They were here today. They're gonna build fence all the way around the fairgrounds, steel panels. So that meter pit needs to be dug up. There's such a menagerie, and there is a huge wreck waiting to happen either during the fair or Christmas Day, I don't know which. But it's a mess.
And whose quarter is that gonna be on?
Well, it's our meter that's in there, but it's on their side where the plumbing is, it's bad. So it's gonna be on their quarter to dig it up and fix that stuff.
And they're aware of that and been
Yeah,
told that?
yeah. We had the discussion last year, but there's probably 1.5 foot of mud in it this year. We put a riser on it, and
Something to keep.
Chuck was down in there for hours cleaning it out. And there's a seeper in there too, so it's all gotta be dug up and fixed.
Something to keep together with the water department and Kramer on that one, and so we keep kind of ahead of that game too on that part. Be aware of it. Also, I need to get with you on that water tap for over there on 4th, where Joe and Brandy's are at. When we did that Highway 40 project, and I want you to get with me and we'll talk about it on why that water line didn't get brought into that empty lot over there, up there.
Where's that at?
Next to Margie, that empty lot between Margie and where
Yeah.
Joe's at.
Yeah,
So we need to talk about that and get on site over there with Joe and go over that. And we'll get together and get a time we can do that.
okay.
Okay? All right, anything further?
There is water and sewer there on that lot from originally. There was a trailer house there before.
Well, he said the water was discontinued.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we'll check
We'll
that
have to
out.
look at it, but not to my knowledge, I don't think anything was taken out of there. You
Good,
know, there's a sewer pipe there and
good.
I'd have to look for the curb stop, but I don't think anything was disconnected.
Good.
If it was 20 years ago.
Right. Okay, we'll get together and look at that. Yes, ma'am.
Did Jill call you and mention down at Doug's house, he put a 6-foot wood fence all the way around?
Who did?
Doug from the phone company?
Oh, yeah.
And so the meter for,
Mills,
yeah, is in his yard. I can't get to it.
we'll have to move the remote.
Okay. Very good.
A 6-foot fence?
6-foot wood fence, yeah.
In the back,
In the backyard, yeah.
not at the front.
And the meter for his next door neighbor is in his yard, in his backyard. So I mean, I can't climb a 6-foot fence, you guys.
I'll lift.
I'll call you next time.
Anything further on your side?
No.
Okay, nothing from the board for Public Works anymore than that?
No, thanks, Chuck. Chuck.
17 is Finance Officer.
Just a reminder that we have the budget meetings for 2023 budget, the 13th and the 14th and the 15th of July. And I'm assuming, I think we are 6 p.m., is that correct? Each night. I don't know if you knew that yet, Brett, since you were. So it's 13th, 14th, and 15th, 6 p.m. We'll be working on 2023. Be ready to close out June, which would be 6 months, to half a year in a couple weeks. I really don't have any other department updates other than that Monty is doing a little bit of spraying of mosquito control. So Chuck hasn't gotten his certification yet, so Monty is doing a few things. I don't really have anything else.
And then she has a trial balance in here in your packets that she put in, so basically everybody can review where we're at in the financial side of it with the trial balance. She's brought up where we're at on the property taxes to where we are on everything listed in every one of the departments, what their totals are, where we're at for balances, so that everybody is aware of that. Some of this can make you familiar with where we're gonna be at on budget items, and where we're at year to date on these items, so that you're more aware of that, and familiar with some of that. Any of them that need to be addressed or attentions, or pretty much to the budget. Because I didn't see nothing that stood out when I went through it.
Right. Well, obviously water and sewer isn't to the budget because of the project on Highway 79, but
Right. But everything else is listed so that you have your awareness. She will provide new sheets for everybody, and we'll have spreadsheets when we go into it like we normally do. She'll have her recommendations. That's a jam and cram for Gail when we get close to that. So that's about when she locks herself in the office and goes. So we'll appreciate that, appreciate everything that you do all the time.
oh, one thing, I would like to ask the board approval to take Friday, July 1st off. I'd like to have a long weekend that weekend.
Unpaid, of course. Unless you do a vacation day or something.
So,
Motion for that?
I'll make that.
Hendrickson does, Kramer seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Nothing else, Gail?
no, thanks.
Nothing from the board for Gail? Thank you. Nothing under new business. We'll move into item number 19. Any citizen input? Yes, ma'am.
I spoke to Jim Preston yesterday, and the UCC board has approved our emergency management plan,
Nice.
along with the flyers to be distributed. What they're going to do is there will be probably 4 or 5 people whose phone numbers they will provide, who will have the code. Each time, or any time that code is used, will be changed the following day. So anytime you would have overflow and need to use it, you would call for a code, because it will be changed consistently.
Nice.
I spoke to Steve Esser, and he's thrilled with it. He has about 4 different government websites he'll be putting it on. And how we want to distribute it down here is still kind of up in the air, or who our point of contacts are. So that'll have to be decided soon.
Well, and did they put the punch pad down here on the basement door yet?
I do not know.
I think so.
I know Jim said that he was calling Wayland yesterday to see if he could get it on the church this week since it's been approved. And of course, with Jim there, so he can show them how to change the code and how to do that.
Yeah, and if Wayland Kin this week set this one too then, and we talked about Terry being one of the contacts, Gail being finances here, and Vicki, us board members, all as being contacts for that, as well as you. Also with being P&Z Neighborhood Watch, so that we have that circle to also do it now that you're retired and have all this free
I am
time.
not coming up here, I already told you that. There's a story, I'm staying home.
So,
But I do think that we need, to have a specific rotation type call on who's closest, who you want to call first. And of course, Brett being the closest would be my first call. But not only that, we have to have a decision on when to call. How do we know when the weather's bad enough to call? I've had contact from both travel parks wanting to know if we have that ready yet, and I can forward it to them. So along with that, we need to provide the information on how we're going to let them know that yes, it is serious enough.
yeah, did you contact Steve Esser yet?
That's what I said. Steve Esser told me he had about at least 4 different government websites he's going to be posting our flyers
But
on.
I mean to come to our next neighborhood watch meeting.
No, because we don't have a date. Our next meeting would be July 4th, so someone needs to come up with a new date. That would probably be the president, not me.
If we would do the next day, the next day would be appropriate, July 5th.
On
No.
a Tuesday, well, I don't know what goes on a
That's a
Tuesday.
board
I
meeting.
think there's probably a meeting somewhere, like up here.
So the 6th,
What day is that?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
No,
Day after
Brett
the
can't come on a Wednesday, and we want to make sure he knows he's in charge of opening
Yeah.
that door.
7th?
Why don't you just do it
trying,
the
buddy.
following Monday, the second
There you
Monday
go.
in July?
I believe the second Monday in July is the HaHa meeting downstairs.
Just do it on the 7th.
7th? Is that okay with you? Okay?
Yeah.
7th, next neighborhood watch meeting to discuss all our disaster preparations. And then we can invite Steve Esser, who's our emergency management for
Oh.
Custer County.
What? What is going on, Jude?
I think, don't we have some things that we need to do in town in Rapid?
The 7th, the depositions.
No, yeah, that's, I think yours is on the 7th, isn't it?
But that was at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
I think we'll look at that.
Opposed? Are you?
What time?
6 on normal.
Okay, I will see if Steve can come. He has verbally already approved the flyer and the map and is posting them, so.
Okay, yeah, so we'll coordinate that, we'll let all of us know, and then we'll post it for the public, and that way everybody's aware of it, so we'll have our emergency management plan together, codes, if we can get them on the doors for them, for the present, and then put us down as contacts for all of us that, like I say, several are in town, to where everybody could be listed as well as Ferguson and Urban, so.
And would you say whenever that comes across your phone screen that says you're in the alert area, that that would be the time for someone to open it, or what?
Yep, I think so. I think that's a great plan.
Boy, they come through a lot.
Yeah,
Just for hailstorms or
Yeah.
a lot of rain, I don't know that you wanna,
I think we should wait for like a warning versus, cause I get thunderstorm
yeah, so do I.
all the time.
So do I, yeah.
No, that's what I'm talking about, when it comes in red that it says it's imminent for your area.
Oh, yeah.
a Warning.
Correct, yeah, oh, okay, I agree there.
Yeah, then you run over.
Then I run over, yeah, exactly.
And I'll be watching.
Yeah.
We like it. Anything further? Yes, ma'am.
There was a little bit of excitement down on Whitney Street last night. Around 10:30, I heard a pickup with a really loud motor, and I looked out. It wasn't Chris, by the way, because I talked to Tina today. But it was parked out in front of Chuck's shop over there on Whitney, but it was very dark. And so I watched it, and it just was idling, and I could hear people talking over there, so I turned my security lights on, and it took off. And then about 2 o'clock, Ruby wanted out, I heard another car. I look out, the same pickup was back, but this time it had a trailer, and it was sitting there talking to another guy. I don't know if they're planning on loading up Bobcat, so I hit him with my giant spotlight and threw all my security lights on, and they both just scattered. But they were up to something. So
We appreciate your attendance on
I'm
that.
not always up at that time, but I usually look out and check the neighbors and whatever. But they were up to something.
Well, it's good for the neighborhood watch and for the attendance of everybody to be on the alert and keep everybody
I
posted.
can't remember what we had something when there was a lot of construction workers in town. It's been quite a few years, but I think with all the Midco people and whatever, they spot something. We don't know who these people are. And the last time there was a bunch of construction, I think when the state did this highway or something, that's when like 4-wheelers were getting stolen and so, yeah.
We'll put a word out to Midco and Becca and all of them to please also watch, because they've been fantastic about keeping an eye on everything around the community too.
Oh, I'm not saying it was them, I'm just saying
No, but I'm
that
saying
extra
they watch.
people. Yeah.
People casing, people
You never
unusual.
know, they see something they like and
Yep.
it's
We
not.
appreciate that. Further, anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a chance to work on the fire hydrants?
It's on the list. We're waiting rural water was here. We're going through our water testing, and then the girls are putting it all together where they're numbering them, because Mike wants them all numbered before we test the flows. And then he'll go through, and then they're gonna put that on a spreadsheet. So we're hoping within the 2 weeks that we'll have that segment. That was his last discussion with us. So we're close.
Okay. And then one other thing is, the sirens are supposed to go off on Saturdays, but they haven't the last 2.
The one up here,
Yeah.
I'll call Rapid City.
I heard,
We heard one Saturday.
I heard it Saturday.
This one up here.
I heard it Saturday.
Yeah, I was
Did you
outside,
hear it?
I heard it.
so it didn't go off. I heard this one, but I didn't pay
And I
attention.
remember because I looked at Jerry and said, oh, it's new.
Yeah, because we specifically watched the clock at noon to see, you know, if it's gonna go off or not, but.
Well, did it or didn't it?
I heard one outside.
So did it or didn't it?
Well, we'll just check.
Should I just have them come
Just
down and
find
do it to us?
It'd be good, it's that time of the year
Mm-hmm,
to check them out.
yeah, good,
Because usually
good
they
point.
don't, if there's really severe weather or something coming our direction, don't they sound the sirens?
911 that
Yeah.
alarms it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that input. Anybody else? Okay, appreciate all of that. Appreciate the awareness, and everybody please stay alert with everything going on, like Connie said, what we've got going in the community and all the extra tourism that's going on. We want to keep ahead of everything, so we appreciate that. Trustee input. Schumacher.
Good meeting.
Kramer.
I would like to officially welcome Brett and Chuck to the board, and thank you for continuing to be stepping up and keeping your big shoulders out there for us.
Thank you. Hendrickson. Brett.
I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity. Really enjoyed being on P&Z, and I'm looking for the extra responsibility here, and just to hopefully be a better asset to the town.
I appreciate that greatly. I thank everybody. I was mixed about being here still and with the family, also being here with the last couple of years have been kind of rugged ones, but there's a lot we have to accomplish, and I appreciate my family backing. It was the only reason that I stepped back up, and I appreciate the backing of the board to be in this position. I appreciate the staff we have. I do want us to work together as a team and get better and better at, as we have on our order and professionalism of the board. We've come a long ways, and we have a lot longer ways to go. So we have 4th of July coming up. Everything's good on fireworks. Nobody has any problems with that.
Yeah. I don't like them, but that doesn't make any difference.
My dogs don't like them.
We'll have our normal display that
Yes.
we'll be putting off, and so, you know, everybody will be aware of, and we will be doing it on 4th of July, as we normally always do, so everybody's aware of that. We appreciate everybody on that. We keep everything as safe as we can, and water trucks close by, and, you know, we do everything in the best fashion we can on that part of it, so. I appreciate this board and the finance officer, our legal side, working with us on everything. We'll appreciate going forward from here and keep everything in that position. Anything else that we need to discuss before we go into executive session? Okay, we appreciate that. Motion to adjourn, and then we'll go into executive session.
Make that.
Motion to go into executive session from Hendrickson, second from Schumacher at 8:05. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you all. So at 9:03, we'll come out of executive session. Motion by Schumacher, second by
Second.
Tomlinson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. As a result of the executive session, the only thing is a motion for the small claims, for Jill to look into that and see what the process is and how difficult it is, and then we'll re-examine that on our tomorrow meeting.
I make that motion.
No?
Yes,
Or
we,
next
yeah,
week. She can make
we
a
can,
call.
yeah, we can make a call tomorrow.
So we'll just do a update. So a motion to follow through that.
I
I
make
have
that
Tomlinson on that. Second
Okay.
by Kramer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All the rest of it we'll discuss tomorrow at our meeting that we have, and no other decisions were made with the result of executive session. Motion to adjourn at 9:04.
Yep.
Motion by Kramer, second
Second.
by Tomlinson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Good job, board.